What's going on, everyone? I'm Keo, and I'm with Sejun, and today we're going to be talking about Metal Gear Rising Revengeance on the Binch Bros podcast. We're about to hit 2 years, June. 2 years.
That's not
Binch Bros.
There's no way.
No, it's 1 year.
Yeah, okay.
We're gonna hit 1 year.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know why I went to 2 years, but yeah. So there's a few games that I played this week.
Wait, what
June,
episode is this? Can you tell me? Is it episode 50?
49.
Ah. Well, one of the things that we did that was important was we created the new, we started doing games that already exist, right?
Yeah.
Like that are out, so we could like catch up and like do retrospective reviews on like a certain publisher or company, etc.
Yeah.
But like Platinum Games is the one we're doing right now, obviously. But like before that, we did Remedy and stuff. But originally we started doing that because we didn't have games to play.
Nope.
But like now we're playing a ton of games. Like,
there's a plethora of games we could play with.
Yeah, that's a correct word.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I do this thing where
you'll throw out a word, right?
But I throw a word. I don't really know what it means, but I kind of do.
That's like one of my biggest pet peeves in life, by the way.
My mom says the same thing too for my brother, but he gets them really wrong. Like he's almost close, but it's really not there. But I don't know. Maybe he's improved.
One slight bigger pet peeve is when someone like corrects the person who's wrong, or like puts them down, but they're wrong.
Oof. That sucks.
Like even throws it even further up the wall.
Yeah, that really sucks. Because then they believe that they said it wrong, but they're wrong, and now they'll use it wrongly.
We've talked about it on this podcast before, but I mean, like Snopesing. Fact checking, just doing your bare minimum due diligence in order to like learn what you're like talking about before you talk about it. I respect that. Yeah.
For instance, this is a bad example. Nice. I might need to get mine from downstairs. I remember hearing something about being banned for smurfing. But I'm not really sure if that's even still going or even how it works.
Right.
So, like, that might not even be true.
Yeah, and also, I've been throwing that out there. Obviously, I just told you I hate it when people do that. But I have done that among friends. I don't think I did it on a podcast. I'm not, like, tossing the news out there. But, like, a friend will, like, you probably shouldn't talk about your smurfing on the podcast that we put online, by the way.
I wasn't saying I was smurfing. I was saying that it was
you don't smurf.
No,
right.
Of course not. I don't even know how.
But yeah, I was talking to someone who online was what do you call it? Yeah, smurfing, or that's another word for it, boosting. There's a lot of words for it. Basically, it's when someone who's a higher level player of a video game creates a new
alternate
account, a fresh account, and generally get to play with lower level people, and
help their friends, boost them to where they're at.
Well, I mean, but it also happens with like other games, like even one-on-one fighting game type games. So like, it's not necessarily just to help. It's like basically game rankings, like for competitive games, are divided up into skill groups, so people aren't matched up against people that they'll just get destroyed by generally. But a lot of times you find games where people have created alternate accounts to play against people who they're much higher than in terms of skill level, and that's like and it obviously is bad because it makes people feel like not have a good time. People get their butts kicked by someone who's put in like hundreds of hours in Call of Duty, but they're like getting ranked up against them, when they start up their first match or something. That's not very cool. But
you know what occurred to me is that what the boosting thing is kind of referring to is probably the boosting services that is out there, because like there are like things you could buy in order for you to get like have someone else play your account and build up the SR for you. And I think that's possibly the boosting that
I just don't understand
Blizzard
appeal of any of this. I mean, it's like, even I get the appeal of like gold farming in MMOs, you know, when people don't want to go farm for resources, so they buy someone from China, you know, has a program running where the character is mining gold all day.
Many of them
sell you, you know, however much you need in real world money. It's like, I understand that in terms of a practical time saving thing.
Yeah.
But like in a competitive game where your ranking is literally like connected to your I mean, if you're getting some sort of self-worth from the rating number that you have in your competitive game or what league you got to, first of all, I mean, you do you know, that's not something I could relate to. But on top of that, if it's like forged, that's even weirder. That's like having a fake diploma. You know, it's like, why? What do you gain from that? It's like you don't make money because you're like a grandmaster at Overwatch. Like that doesn't get you money. You know, and like even if it did get you into a position where you could get into a, you know, potentially like lucrative sponsorship type thing, as soon as you start playing, if you're not in that,
they're literally gonna take that sponsorship away from you.
Yeah, like if you're not like, if you can't, you know, back up your worth or whatever. So I don't understand what the point is.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's pretty much just like getting at this like high school diploma without having to go through high school, or just like learn anything.
Like when I they have trophies and achievements and stuff like that in video games. I like getting those. I think they're very fun. There's no end game to it. There's nothing I'm gonna do with any of them. Like I think the fact that PlayStation takes a photo when you get a trophy now, I find that really fun because I can look through my photos and be like, oh, that's fun. There's a picture of me when I was streaming Bloodborne. By the way, little side note, they took away that feature. It no longer saves the photo when you get a trophy. Oh,
do you have to like activate that or something?
Well,
or
it doesn't save
gone.
It doesn't save anything from your PlayStation webcam thing. So like when I streamed Bloodborne, the Old Hunters, I streamed it with my sister and Timmy. And when we beat Orphan of Kos, the final boss, it was very hard.
Yeah.
And I cheered after we beat him. I was so excited. And that moment is forever like immortalized in that picture, you know? So it's like Orphan of Kos, and then there's a picture of me, my sister, and Timmy all like excitedly like raising our hands and you know, victory.
Well, it takes a picture of the game, not like the screen or like what the stream is looking
No,
at,
it
right?
used to. It used to take a picture of that too. So that was really fun.
Oh, crap.
So
okay.
like I was in there. Like there's like my trophy for Bloodborne beating Orphan of Kos has Timmy, me, and my sister all cheering. Whereas now trophies I get, even if I'm streaming, that no longer appears. So it's kind of a little less fun.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Isn't there, like I said, is there the thing you could check off, or was that like years ago? Probably, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, Bloodborne came out in 2014.
Yeah, it's 2017.
And then
Bloodborne
Old Hunters probably came out in 2015 then.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
And I think I streamed that maybe within the first week of its release, so I would say around 2015.
Okay.
I mean, give or take, I can't really remember.
I mean, it's like 3 years.
I'm sure the date of that like trophy is saved on my PlayStation. If I like booted it up, I can give you guys you know, feedback response. But like
just quick, it's just not enough.
Yeah, I don't know when I got that. It's actually cool because of that. It's like kind of a record of your game like time. Yeah, and like, you know how a lot of times the first time you beat a boss, like you'll get like a trophy for it or something, and you can like see like when was that? Like when was my first ever, you know, Bloodborne boss, cleric beast, I think mine was. Like when did I beat him first? You know, I can look at that. It's like, oh, that's like the first like Souls boss I've ever beaten. You know?
Yeah.
I think.
God, it's such a good game. Sorry, you said cleric beast, and like I'm remembering like the music and just like playing Bloodborne against the cleric
I just
beast.
remember, like obviously, you know, I fought all these bosses many times, right? Because I've replayed the game many times and whatever. I always like my fond memories of them are when I played it with friends or when I had friends over when I was playing it or whatever. I really liked playing against fighting the cleric beast, the weird cleric. There's like a second cleric beast in the expansion, the fire one. Mm-hmm. I remember joining you to fight against that one, and we probably fought him like 10 times, I think, before we beat him.
Yeah,
we were running.
We definitely died.
Yeah,
a lot.
But it was really fun. Like I think I was like being stubborn. I think you know when like you're playing Overwatch and there's only an Ana and it's like not enough, but like that person like wants to be Ana, so it's like that's the healer you got. It was like that. I was only using the bow. It was like not enough. I should have been using like the whirling gig saw, but I was just standing there using the bow. Like, but we finally beat him, and that was really fun.
That's just
I don't know. I think stubbornness is a big part of video games. Being stubborn, being like, I want to beat this game with no armor on, or you know, I want to. Oh, like, that's part of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I usually like set those kind of like standards to myself as well. I think I remember we mentioned something in the podcast where I set like a new challenge for myself or whatever, like to not use items or something.
In what game?
I don't know. I just remember there was something a game that we played like a while ago. Maybe not. No, it was something else. I can't remember, but I remember you putting it out. And you commented on how like you're not sure how you feel about those, like setting like little goals for yourself, well, like unneeded.
I don't think that like it justifies a video game's like. How do I put this? If a game is like way too easy, let's say, right, and then someone could say, "Oh, well, you could just not use that." I'm always like on the other end going like, I guess you could just not use that, but like it's still in the game. So you're like handicapping yourself. That's kind of weird. It's like, I don't know. You know, Doomfist is the Overwatch character. Yes. He's like the newest character. He's got this move. It's got an extremely short cooldown, like I think 4 seconds or something. And it's a punch, and it kills most characters in one hit. Like, if punches them, they hit a wall, they die, right? That's really powerful in that game because we don't have a lot of there's not a lot of things that just kill a character immediately, you know, like it's, unless it's something that's really skillful, like a headshot from Widowmaker or something. You know, like generally you won't get many things that just kill people in one hit. And Doomfist has one. He has a one-hit kill, and so a lot of people, you know, think it's kind of broken or bullshit, right? People are like upset, you know, oh, this character takes no skill, he's too powerful, blah blah blah. But it's like you're still gonna see him, you know. Right now he's good, so if they fix it, they'll, you know, they might make the game better, or if they change it, if that's what they want to do. If one-hit kills is something they don't want to remove from the game, then like I think it is, because they got rid of Roadhog's, like they lowered his damage. He used to be a one-hit kill character, but like right now it's not fixed. So if you're not using Doomfist because of some sort of moral objection to it, you're just like not helping yourself in a way, right? Does that make sense? Like, because he's a really strong character to have right now. Yeah, he's one of the newest characters, but he's So maybe in a sense, people aren't as used to playing as him, you know, so they're not as skilled. But like, he's pretty easy to use, and like it's like, you know how Genji's another Overwatch character. He has a dash move that does a lot of damage, you know, and he gets it fairly quickly. And if he kills someone with it, he gets it immediately. But Doomfist,
well, if he gets like assists or anything,
yeah,
he doesn't have to kill.
As long as an elimination is counted on his thing.
Yes.
But Doomfist punch, you know, it's just 4-second cooldown. Doesn't matter like if he's killed anyone with it or not. And it generally kills people. It's just like, you know, almost any single character that gets hit by that like will die, right? Like, yeah, except for like the big characters with a lot of health.
Yeah, but it still does a lot of damage to him.
If a team is pushing in, you know, and they have like 3 damage dealers, a tank and like a healer and I don't know, something else, you know, like he could single-handedly probably kill 3 of those damage dealers as they're making their push, and then their push is over already, you know. So
yep.
I mean, I'm not saying he's unbalanced or anything, whatever. Like, there's plenty of ways to counteract that. But, like, right now in the game, a character like that is advantageous for you. And, like, not using it, like, is more detrimental than, you know, complaining about it, right?
Yeah.
I guess? I don't know.
It's kind of damn it. I had the word and slipped. Controversial, right?
Versal? Why am I being pedantic? I'm being pedantic. What's controversial?
That's right. I need help. Oh, because like, just because like he's there, right? Like if you just understand him, right? You don't really have to play him. You just work around him, like doing these counters or whatever. Right?
But a video game like that, again, it's like, just because you're aware of things doesn't mean it's like you can ignore things. You know what I mean? It's like I know that Mercy's probably gonna come in and res everyone we killed. You know, we're doing really good at killing people right now. We killed 4 of the 6 people. You know, like I'm sure Mercy's gonna come in at any second to kill that, like to res those 4 people that we killed.
Yeah, she's probably gonna do that.
But like, instead of everyone going, let's find that Mercy and kill her before she does that, you usually expect someone else to do it, and then Mercy swoops in and no one kills her in time. By the way, that's going away.
I do not assume that like someone else is gonna do that. Whoever I am, I'm gonna shoot.
Yeah, but
down.
like, what if you don't know where she is? It's like you have to start looking. And it's like, where do you look?
No, I will. Yeah,
you know what would be good for that?
That is true. If everyone's already like going down already, and like, holy shit, what the fuck, team, stop! We need to kill Mercy first.
You know what? I've never done, panicking. But like thinking about it, it's like, oh, that would be a really good idea. Is like during a push, like let's say I kill 2 or 3 people, right? Or we kill 2 or 3 people as a team. If I'm playing Widowmaker and I have my ultimate, that's when I should have turned it on. See where that Mercy is, where she's gonna like pop out from, and then I can call it out, and then everyone can get ready for it.
Dude, that would help.
No one does that. No one ever no Hanzo just like tosses out a sonar arrow and is like, where is she? Where is she?
No, Hanzos do that in order to get their own scattershot kills, their own selfish kills. But I don't know. I don't really play Hanzo enough to actually confirm that. But I mean, that's what I think.
But I mean, like, I think, I don't know. I know we talked about Overwatch a lot already.
Yeah, I know. We said I didn't think it was gonna be an Overwatch talk in the beginning.
It's a good game. I mean, we're always playing it. It's always changing.
It's been here since we started the podcast.
That's crazy.
So like, is it
one of your favorite games?
We hit the New Year's already.
I don't know if it's one of my favorite games.
I like it a lot. I haven't gotten
to
it. I haven't gotten the need to play it lately.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a game I go back to. It's a good game.
I'll put it this way. I think it's one of the best video games to come out in years in terms of like,
yes,
it is a very well-made video game. This is a smart game. They made it very... I'm not one who played a lot of console first-person shooter competitive games. You know, I don't care. Like, I'll put in like, you know, a week's worth of time with the new release if I'm interested, and it's like usually I kind of phase out. Like even if it's a good game, Titanfall 2, that was a good game, and over time I got over it. Not that it was like bad or it's the game's fault in any way. I just something about it just no longer drove me to play it. Overwatch, it's like the drip feed of content. They constantly give you.
It makes you want to come back. Like all the events.
I mean, the biggest deal,
all the updates.
Like a new character, right? If they release a new character, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to see this new character.
You see that a lot in like competitive games, though, like League of Legends and like Dota, and like that always happens. And I feel like that's like not a trend that they're going with, but they kind of notice
it's true to a certain extent. Like but like Titanfall 2 released new Titan not that long ago.
It's weird because I don't give a fuck about those,
like though. I saw it and I was like, that guy looks pretty fun to play. Did I reinstall Titanfall 2? No. It's not like it's a bad game. No, it's a good game. I really like that game. I just don't. I guess fighting games I do that with. Whenever I have a fighting game, there's a new character. I'm like, let's jump in. Let's see how Minot plays. And guess what? Minot rules. Like that's really fun.
Nice. And how often do they fighter games usually release characters out?
So
like, is it
like I guess depends on the game. Street Fighter 5 has released, I think 8. Has it been 8? Maybe more. I think they released 4 per pack, and so this is either 4 or maybe they released 5 per pack. But
what's pack?
Fighter
like
pack,
a DLC.
So like, but they released them like not at once. They over time. So it's like the Street Fighter 5, the base game came out, then like the first additional character came out. I forget who it was. It was like then this one, then this one, then this one, then this one. Then there was another season of it. So it's like you had to get the next season's pass. And it's like I'm pretty sure they're gonna do this for a while. Like I feel like they're gonna keep releasing which is gonna be tough to balance, like because every new character.
Yeah, that's a lot of characters.
Because every character has to fit within unlike Overwatch, where it's totally fine that Genji can overpower Widowmaker. Like Genji's can overpower Widowmaker in that game. That's like how those characters are built. But in fighting games, you can't really have that. You can't really have a character that completely overpowers another character. That other character should always stand a chance, right? Like, and I mean, obviously, there's tier lists that people make. Like, this person's hard to use, and even if you use them well, you only get this much out of it. Whereas this person is easy to use, and you get a solid this much out of it. So this person's higher on the tier list. This person's more worthwhile. Like this person has air fireballs.
Is this like the god tier?
Right. Right. So like Akuma is a high tier character in Street Fighter games usually because, and he's balanced in a way because he takes less damage before he dies. He's like weaker than most characters, but he does a lot of damage and he can do damage from different angles. He can jump up and toss fireballs. He can toss fireballs on the ground. He has good close range stuff. You know what I mean? So he's like a really worthwhile character. He's always going to be in the top higher brackets, right? Whereas like a character that's like more, I don't know, specific, they might be good in a lot of situations, but like maybe they don't have good long range. Then, if they're up against someone who's got really good long range, it's going to be a harder fight, stuff like that. But like, I don't know. So like Street Fighter has been releasing them incrementally. I think it's like this. I feel like Minot, the newest one, and the one before that, Abigail. I don't think distance between those two characters were very far at all. I feel like they were only maybe a month or something, which is very short. And so I don't know how the release schedule is. I don't know if it's like, I don't remember how Overwatch did it either. I don't remember the distance between any of these characters.
How many characters we got? The
Ana.
First one being
it was Ana,
right?
Sombra.
So we have Ana, Sombra,
Orisa, and Doomfist.
Doomfist. So it's basically been a year from there.
It's been a year since Ana
once
came out?
I think, right?
How what?
I think it was like 3 months when the game came out, and then Anna kind of
So
came around.
Overwatch is a weird one because the game had an alpha really early on, right? Like and people were playing it then, and it had like much less characters than the original build. And so like in a way, like since Diva, Mei, and Genji were like the last characters added to the final game before the game came out, like they're almost like new characters, you know, in a weird way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I remember you mentioned that.
Yeah, so
before,
it's like I don't really know how to like count games like that. But I mean, like also like Street Fighter had a beta like way back in the day, and it had like I think it had 4 people. It had like Chun-Li and Ryu and whoever else.
Thinking about it, I could have swore I feel like there was a lot more characters in Overwatch that was released in the past year, but it really was only 4 characters.
Yeah, we've had
right?
a lot of events in Overwatch. We had like, here's or we've had big changes to characters. Like Symmetra feels like a totally new character.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's a big thing, because like Symmetra from Overwatch vanilla to Overwatch now is like a very different character.
Yeah.
Like completely different.
Oh yeah. Like new
abilities,
someone else too.
New ultimates.
Someone else got to rework
changed
as
a
well.
lot. You can't really play him the same way.
Recently.
Diva used to kill herself with her ultimate. She doesn't kill herself anymore.
Oh,
that fundamentally changed how she plays.
That's so weird.
Yeah, she used to not be able to do the stuff she does now. Like she can do a lot of crazy stuff today that would have been suicidal back in the day. They even changed her defense matrix. Do you remember? It used to be a cooldown. Now it's like a meter.
Yes. Yeah, it was just
like recharges. But back in the day, it was like you use it once, and that's when you use it. You use it that one time, and then you have to wait until it recharges again.
Yeah. I mean, it lasts for pretty much the full amount as if you like held it down.
Yeah, but like the cooldown would only begin after that. Over.
Like it's
so
gone.
The big thing was like a lot of times divas would use it to like catch something real quickly, like an ultimate or something, and then they would turn it off so they could get the cooldown again, so they can like wait for to use it again or whatever. Different characters got armor added onto their health bar or different amounts of shielding or whatever. I think Zenyatta got more shields, didn't he?
Yeah, like 50% more. Yeah, I think he used to be 125.
I don't think he was ever 125.
No, he's.
I think he was 150.
He was definitely.
Yeah, but I mean, Tracer's the only one who's 150 now, and she's also like the only one who hasn't had any change really.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, I can't think of a single thing that besides the thing that affected every hero.
No, they literally did not change anything.
They changed the fact that every hero builds ultimates a little slower.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this, and you made a good point. Like off podcast, is like the whole game is like balanced or possibly balanced around Tracer because she's
and that makes sense, right? Like
so,
you have one character as a measuring stick, kind of. But
and that's pretty good. That's good. I think that's a good thing to have as a company for this type of game, because if not, then everything will just be
right.
Guideline,
like I mean,
right?
and like you've seen, I think like League of Legends or Dota, games like that have maybe had problems like that in the past, where like every time they tune something else gets messed up, But like, or another good thing is like, I might have mentioned this before too, but in Injustice 2, when Sub-Zero came out, after Sub-Zero came out, they were releasing patch notes that were coming out. Like these patches are going to be implemented in the game. And when people read through the notes, there were no changes to Sub-Zero because he was the newest hero. So they released him as balanced as possible with the new changes coming in mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about Sub-Zero getting big changes, whereas like, some characters, obviously, it's like the changes are minimal. It's like Starfire does less damage in her combos. Like her combos just overall just do a little less damage because she was doing a lot of damage or whatever. But then some people like Aquaman, if he like meter burned one of his moves, it would pop you up off the ground and he would continue to do a combo, right? He would get like a lot of free damage on you. Now, when he meter burns that move, it just knocks you down. There's no combo. That's a huge change.
Yeah.
Like that's like changing Roadhog's hook and gun, or whatever. Like Roadhog's hook used to, like, you'd be like, around the corner. I remember one thing. I think someone was playing Tracer. They got hooked by him as they were like recalling, and they like recalled away, and then were like being brought back or something. Like something stupid.
Yeah, they were still hooked, but the wall was in between them. So she still got grabbed.
Still like through. So like took the long way around. Like came in front of him again.
Yeah. And if they're, oh god, that was so bad. That was, or I think really it was bad.
Like Sombra or something. Someone who could teleport away, like.
Oh, I think it was definitely like Tracer, but yeah, Roadhog's hook was definitely like broken back then.
And I mean, like, here's a big thing that I always think about in video games, like, how much does context matter in competitive games? Okay, so, for instance, Zenyatta, he floats everywhere. He never touches the ground. That's his character, right? He floats everywhere. Yeah. Yet he still gets caught in Junkrat's traps. That makes no sense. Yeah. Like, if you're thinking about it, like, logically, like, he's not even touching that trap, yet it closed on him and grabbed him.
He can't move.
Would it be that big of a change in the game as the whole game if Zenyatta's just are unaffected by that trap? Like, would that like change the meta of the game? Would everyone be like, "Oh, we need a Zenyatta in case they have a Junkrat"? Like, I don't know if he's like a hard counter.
Yeah, I don't think it would.
But wouldn't it make perfect sense within the lore and logic of the game? Like, another big thing, like I was thinking about, was Doomfist.
I mean, to be honest, when you mentioned like Zenyatta getting stuck in a trap because he's floating, I just imagine him walking on his legs for some reason now, and I think it looks so
and he
weird.
Doesn't. He never walks around. That's not a thing Zenyatta does, and it's like it's not something that they didn't account for, because it's like, obviously, but he just doesn't do that. So like. And like, no hero suffers from fall damage, whatever, that's fine. Yeah, that's just the way the game works. But like, Zenyatta shouldn't get caught in Junkrat's trap. That makes no sense. Because, and I mean, I know they're accounting for this stuff because like Mei's ultimate, her Blizzard, you have to be like in line of sight with the drone that she threw out there, like if you're hiding behind something, even if you're in the radius, it won't freeze you, right? Yeah. So like there's like a logic to that, so the logic of Zenyatta being caught in Junkrat's trap is like,
doesn't make any sense.
A weird one
that, like, if the drone radius.
Yeah, and I don't think it would change the game that much. I think he probably shouldn't be caught in Junkrat's trap.
True.
Like, I'm not like a Zenyatta main. He's maybe my main healer that I play, but like, and I don't. It's not something I like. I'm like dying for. It's not a huge change I need, but like, it hurts the context of the game. It makes the game seem less real.
But I think, like, obviously, I don't think players that especially if they play competitively, I don't think they care about that too much. But if it's in there, they'll like acknowledge it, and they'll use that. If like the other team has a Junkrat, then probably one of the healers would go Zenyatta if it's more like if it's a better match for the team comp.
But it's exactly, and it shouldn't matter that like he doesn't get caught in Junkrat's trap every now and then, because someone's gonna get caught in that trap. People always step in those traps, like like it just won't be a Zenyatta. Like, that's fine to me. I don't know, I think it's silly that's even like, why make that character float? Why does Doomfist, his ultimate, he flies into the air before he comes crashing down? It's called Meteor Strike, right? Like, you can picture how it works. Doomfist goes into the air, comes down and hits the ground. Okay, that's fine. I understand the context of that. Now, if you go under cover, like under a roof, he'll still come through the ceiling and hit you and kill you.
Yeah.
He's not making holes in the ceiling. He's just somehow appearing there, you know?
Yeah.
That's stupid. That's like you made that as the character's ability. You consciously made a character jump in the air and come down.
I don't know. I mean, when we put this out, maybe Blizzard? Jeff Kaplan himself will listen.
No, I was thinking about this, right? Because like
no, that makes sense. That it doesn't make sense that he could do that.
Yeah, Doomfist is particularly egregious in this element because Overwatch has a lot of verticality. Okay, it has not like so much that it's a huge thing, but it's like there's roofs and there's places inside buildings, and you can be on the top of those buildings, whatever.
Yeah.
One thing that Doomfist it would be cool if he could do is like if he jumps in the air to do his meteor strike, and there's enemies on the roof, he should be able to land on that roof and kill them.
Yeah.
He can't do that right now.
I think he can.
He'll land. Well, no, he can't. I looked it up.
There was one time when I was playing Doomfist and
they walked up the stairs.
No, but there was like a ledge. I was like next to a wall. I think it was like.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I looked this up, right? Mm-hmm. Doomfist's ultimate hits on the level that he activated it from.
Yeah.
Now, that means basically what it means is coding wise, programming wise, the character model didn't really fly in the air. He's just like not there anymore. Yet like where he would
just
be
teleported.
Well, yeah, like the character model is gone, but like where he would be, the like frame of the idea of what he is is there.
Yeah.
And it's on the same level that it left from.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's theoretically Route 66 gas station, Doomfist can go around the back, climb up the stairs, and land on top of them.
Yeah.
Because like, but like that doesn't like
he can't just like go above because he should be in the air.
He should be in the air. He should be able to just land on top of the roof.
Yeah.
He should not be able to land inside the gas station without making a hole in the roof of that gas station.
Yeah.
They're not going to put holes in their environments. That's not the type of game it is.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just hard, man, because like what if like the thing is too is like what if he actually does want to just if they program it reversely. So it's only on top of things, right? So then you as a Doomfist, you would want to get the people inside Route 66 gas station, but not on top. So now whenever you go over, you're kind of fucked. You have to either wait till they leave or just not use it.
It would change when to use it, right?
You know what?
It would change the meta of how
definitely.
to use his ultimate.
Yeah, and I think that's just, I don't know. I think it's just, it's going to change any changes you make.
Yeah,
but
I
mean, going to change it up. But it definitely doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's like Diva can't leave her nuke on top of the gas station and kill everyone inside of it. She can't bomb people from outside the gas station. How come Doomfist can land on people from outside of the gas? Know what I mean? It's like the gas station.
You don't want Doomfist ult to work as? I want it to work the same way as it did in Destiny, the first game, where the Titan class, where when you do your ult,
right, you jump in the air and then you
jump in the air and you target,
right,
and then maybe Doomfist has like a bit more health, so that way he can actually go off of it.
So Saints Row has similar things, right? Like Saints Row 4 has a move called Death from Above, where if you jump in the air and you hit aim, you start floating. And then you have a reticule that you can aim at any point, and then land there, and it like causes damage around you. Or if you did it from high enough, it's like a huge explosion. Okay. Doomfist could have a similar thing where like he jumps in the air and the camera follows up into the air, and then you can aim now, and it's like you better be fast because if people are gonna take cover from that, like. But here's the thing. Here's why this is a problem to me. Not because of game balancing or anything. It's fine. It's another damage effect AoE ultimate. But the reason I think it's a problem contextually is they could have designed this ultimate in any way they want. They could have said he's actually he turns into an invisible explosion. Okay? Right. Like he goes invisible and he explodes with energy where he appears or something. Mm-hmm. That's fine. It would have the same properties of the ultimate would work the same way.
Yeah.
They chose to make the character jump into the air and land on the ground. If they're choosing to do that, account for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Roadhog.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like, this is something that I don't think about regularly, though. Like, this is something I would think about, like, when I'm in the bathroom, maybe.
Well, I mean, the reason...
and I'm taking a shit.
The reason they fixed Roadhog's hook, in general, where people were complaining that this hook is broken. I go around the corner, and then his hook hit me, and then, like...
still get pulled.
It pulls me around that corner. The physics of the hook shouldn't do that. And it's like, okay, like... They decided to make this character have a hook. They did not decide to make him have some sort of teleporter that he tosses on you and then you appear in front of him. Like, same idea. If they did use a teleporter where you appeared in front of him, then they wouldn't have had to fix that idea. But they used a hook, so, you know, the idea. So they changed it. They said, okay, yeah, you're right. That breaks the immersion of the game. That breaks the idea of what this character's ability is. So we will fix it. You know,
it's not so much that it's broken.
Why is that specific move like that, like balance breaking? I don't think it is. I think I don't
know. I think I remember when
there's a ton of moves in the game that are like quote unquote balance breaking that like are totally in the game fine. Like Farah can just concuss and blast people off of ledges, no problem. You know, that's balance breaking, but like it's still there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Soldier 76's ultimate, you know, can like shoot the tiniest like bit of you that's visible, you know? It's like, yeah, that's balance breaking, but like it's fine. Like why was that hook so why was that hook making people so mad? It's because it's breaking the logic. You know, people said, that's bullshit. I was around the corner. Yeah. It still brought me in front of him.
Yeah.
It was the logic that was making people upset.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I could see how that would be the real main reason.
I mean,
but like,
I
other than that, I feel like it's just because they're just salty about being killed by Roadhog when they believe that they definitely was not in
but
the
that
line
was
of sight or whatever,
that was
right?
never like the game in the beginning of the game when the game first came out. It never said, hey, his hook will detach if you're around the corner. That was never a thing. It was always known for a fact that his hook does not detach. You know, once his hook got you, you got. You know, you got brought in front of him, no matter where you are in the map. That was always the like idea of Roadhog's hook. So when they changed it, you know, they changed it based on, you know, the real logic of the game. You know, they said, you're right, that makes no sense, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the changes. I don't, whatever, like they changed it. But if they're changing that, then means why didn't they change it so Zenyatta doesn't step into bear traps, because he doesn't step anywhere? Why didn't they change, you know, Doomfist going through the ceiling, because he's clearly not going through the ceiling? Like,
I feel like these will be things that they'll eventually address and probably address.
All I'm saying is fixing, quote unquote, fixing Roadhog's hook opened a can of worms that maybe only I care about, but like, I mean, I don't know. I think it's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I mean, I'm not trying to be like, whatever. Whatever. It's not, whatever. I'm getting frustrated thinking about this.
I know it's, I mean, overall, I mean, it's just Overwatch. We were for like 10 minutes ago, we were saying how good it is. And now you're talking about how, Zenyatta can't get trapped or can get trapped by Junkrat's trap.
All of fiction, right? In all fiction, the thing that like really irks me or bothers me a lot is when the game, or sorry, not the game, the fiction of the universe doesn't support what the characters like can do or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or like, you know, have you ever been watching Game of Thrones? No spoilers, don't worry. But you're like, wait, that character, who's usually a smart character, made a really stupid decision right there. Why did they make that decision? And then later you're thinking about it and you're like, oh, I see. They didn't really make that decision. That was like a fake conversation, you know, to trick another character. But it's like, why were we tricked. You know, it's like it's the fiction of the world like broke itself to like get a thing in. You know, it's like that's what Zenyatta getting trapped in the bear trap is. That's a fiction of the world breaking in order for game balancing or whatever, which is not even that big of a balance issue, honestly. Like Zenyatta getting caught in bear traps doesn't change anything. Doomfist landing only on top of roofs, that really changes things, but like people are adaptable. People will
they'll
work around
adjust
it.
to that.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't know. It's like we know. I have a question, by the way. Real quick question. Yes. Symmetra, her orbs, the one she charges up and fires.
Yes.
They go through barriers, right?
Yeah, shields and shit.
That's weird. Okay. Why?
I don't know. Why doesn't
her beam?
Hers can, why doesn't Zarya?
No. Why does her beam not go through things, but her orbs do? Aren't they made of the same? You know what I mean? There's a million things you can nitpick in this game. Like,
yeah.
And you probably should nitpick because it's like, I mean, unless you honestly like, would you be fine with Overwatch if none of the character models were there? They were just represented by like all Reinhardts are red and about the same size as Reinhardt, you know, but like they're not like distinct or like, you know, so none of the characters are anything, but all the mechanics were the same. Would that game appeal?
But they were all like the same model.
Like, well, I mean, you could still read easily, like, oh, that's an Orisa tank or that's a Reinhardt tank. But like,
yeah, but they're all like.
But the cool character things that are there about these characters, you know, Reinhardt's cool armor, or Orisa's, you know, she's got a tribal looking color scheme to her, you know, chassis. Like that stuff is all gone. You know, would the game still be appealing? I bet most people would say no. You know, they're like, no, I like the art design of the game. Well, why do you like the art design? Because it creates a believable world, right? And if you don't have that if that believable world keeps getting cracked by stupid stuff like Zenyatta getting caught in bear traps that are on the ground, like, you know, Doomfist just coming through ceilings, then it makes no sense. Then it's like you're breaking your own world that you worked so hard to build. And that frustrates me because I like that world and I don't want it to have holes in it all the time.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
It's like in The Last of Us.
You would.
It's like in The Last of Us when Ellie just runs out in front of a clicker and the clicker doesn't grab her to eat her. He doesn't even know she's there.
Yeah.
But it's like when you're Joel, you have to be super quiet. And then when you play as Ellie, it's not like you can just run out in front of clickers. It's not that Ellie's immune to clickers. They can hear Ellie when you're playing as Ellie. Spoilers, you play as Ellie sometimes in that game. But you know, like that breaks the game's fiction. Like I was playing. Sorry, I'm so ranting right now.
You're very ranty today.
I'm very angry.
That's fine. It's hard for me to input like at all because like I could.
I'm gonna say one last thing and then I'm gonna just toss it over to you for Destiny because I'm so mad right now.
No, we're literally not doing Destiny. There's not enough time. We'll probably throw that for next week or something.
All right, one more thing before I talk about Metal Gear or something.
Yes.
I was playing Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Okay. Which is a Naughty Dog game, same company that made Last of Us. And I remember when I was playing Last of Us, I found it very frustrating and stupid when my NPC partners would not be detected when they're running around. You know, it's like, why are they running in front of the enemy and not being seen by them, right? That's silly.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know, I put that in the stupid corner, and I just said that's a stupid thing about this video game that's very good. I was playing Uncharted Lost Legacy. And you play as Chloe and you have a partner named Nadine who's with you for like the whole game. I was like behind cover, you know, and Nadine gets in cover and it was like a corner. Okay. So I was on one side and she was on the other side of the corner. She was on the side of the corner with the enemy that didn't see me yet. You know what I'm saying? Like she's in front of the enemy that's like walking towards me. And then she adjusted and left that corner. But like
and they didn't do anything.
Clearly in view of this guy, and he doesn't see her. And like my head went back to how upset it made me when I was playing The Last of Us. Yeah. And I said, "Oh, yeah, these guys suck at making that specific thing. That's a thing that they've never made correctly, and it's stupid. And it's I mean, I'm sure it would be upsetting if she triggered all the alarms because she was in front of people." And it wasn't my fault. Yeah, that would suck too. But like, like
but they couldn't program her to be just a little bit further away from them.
Yeah, like if you're in stealth,
yeah,
make it so she never enters their line of sight. She's doing her best to hide where you're hiding, you know?
Yeah.
But if you have her just pop up and land in front of them and then walk away, like nonchalant.
Yeah, when that happens, I mean, it's weird because like you kind of like what I do. I'm not sure if this is what like a lot of other people do, but what I do is I usually just like dismiss it and just forget about it.
Yeah, but that's bad. That's bad. But, I mean, for the game, like you should. The person should not have to be doing mental gymnastics to make up for deficiencies in a product.
True.
Does that make sense?
I don't know.
I don't have.
I don't know what is there something wrong with me? I think
no. It's not you.
I give people, or I kind of give people like excuses, or not even excuses. I kind of like try to think of a reason why that would happen. And probably say like, oh shit, maybe they forgot that. Oh well.
It's because you're trying to preserve the game that you like, or the movie, or whatever. You're trying to preserve it. Like you know, when you see a plot hole, you try to like come up with reasons for it. You know.
Yeah, because I bought a $60 game.
Even if you got it for free, if you liked it, you're trying to preserve it. You know, and like the thing is, it's their fault. You shouldn't have to be doing the work for that. We don't need Zenyatta's being caught in any more fucking bear traps because they decided to make him float. If they wanted Zenyatta to be caught in a bear trap, don't make him float. Yeah. That's your decision. If you made a conscious decision, then it makes no sense for that decision to be immediately contradicted in your own game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, if you make the rule that clickers can hear every sound and they'll attack you if they hear a sound, don't make Ellie be yelling at Joel about something 2 feet away from a clicker. Yeah. So she's like, Joel, hey, I found some supplies over here. And shut the hell up. You know, and it's like
Joel gets attacked.
I would love it if that like did alert a clicker. That would make the game like tense. And then Ellie, if she reacted to alerting a clicker, it's like, oh my bad, you know, and like went and hid. Like that would be interesting. That's not what they did.
I feel like that's like almost the last thing that they would think about, only because of the fact that like they got a deadline. I'm assuming that every game developer has like a deadline at some point.
They do have deadlines.
They want to sit down the foundations first, and then possibly add that extra stuff in, as in like Ellie. If Ellie is near a clicker, she might get attacked or whatever. If you guys are stealthing,
well, I think they didn't want her to be able to be killed without your like, because a lot of games, you know, people complain about escort quests and stuff, you know. It's like, oh, that game, like I'm trying to escort that character from Resident Evil 4, Ashley, but she keeps getting caught, you know. She's stupid, you know. People don't like Ashley because she gets caught a lot. It's like, that's the game, you know. That is the game that they made.
That's
like,
the game,
and they stuck to it. They said Leon can get caught, you know, or get attacked. Ashley can get attacked, you know. Cool. That's the rules of the game. If you're making Last of Us and you say, oh, here's the rules. Clickers attack people that they hear. If Joel is being heard, he gets attacked and killed. Okay, cool. If Ellie's being heard, well, she's not being heard. She's being super noisy. She's not being heard. You broke your game. And I mean, I'll overlook things like that, but it doesn't make me happy. It makes me a little less proud of the game that I love so much. Does that make sense? I'm less proud of Overwatch than I would be if Zenyatta didn't get caught in bear traps, or if Doomfist didn't go through the ceiling.
Overwatch is doing so well too.
I love Overwatch. It's a great game, but I wish I could be more proud of it.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of a lot of things, like the stuff with reporting players. I reported my first player.
Yeah, me too.
Last week. You did too?
Yeah. There was a Widowmaker that literally did nothing, and we were in Ilios, and what she decided to do was go out to where the cars are at and just dodge them the whole game.
During a competitive match? Yeah. That's a report. I reported someone for pretty offensive language. I didn't like it. So I was like, you know what? They use that word I hate. So I'm going to send a report.
Yeah. There's no need. No need.
Don't do that. Yeah, don't be gross.
Thank you for listening to our Overwatch segment.
I do wonder, one final thing. I do wonder, can we check up to see if the people we have reported got punished?
What type
of punishments do they offer?
Do they offer?
I think
I read a review, article where there was an interview with Jeff Kaplan, and it used to be like muting. This is for PC because reporting was available only on PC up until now. And what the punishments would happen is they would get muted, they would be suspendedly muted, and then
that wouldn't really help that Widowmaker case.
No, definitely not. They would get temporarily banned afterwards, and then it's going to be like a longer ban after that. I think now it's straight up just bans. There's like no more warning so much anymore. But if you are wrongfully like reported, you can make a case or claim or whatever by reporting over to Overwatch or Blizzard, I guess. And they'll try to talk it with you or discuss it with you or whatever. Is it immediate? It's straight up just bans.
If one person says one horrible thing and I report that person, is that person immediately banned?
To what I could tell from that interview, they kind of go off a how many times report basis. So I think after you hit a certain amount of reports, they'll look into it. I believe.
Well, gross. All right. Metal Gear Rising. Sorry.
Let's just calm down. Let's take a breather. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. Good. Now that we got that out of our system, welcome to our Metal Gear Rising review, I guess.
Yeah. You played it. I didn't get to play it this time.
What we do, are they basically reviews, or are they just like...
They're not like just critical editorial reviews. No. You know, we're not writing a review. This isn't a segment that we produced. We're more like having a discussion about a game.
Just a regular game podcast.
We could absolutely call it a review because we are reviewing it in terms of like, we don't really give it a score because we don't have a scoring metric.
I mean, we kind of do, but it's not really like...
I have my own personal metric, you know, like of where I put games, but like, it's not really, I don't know. It's like, it's interesting. This year is the year 2017, the greatest year of video games ever.
Yes.
And like, you know, we're here playing games from, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, 10 years ago sometimes. I mean, that's really fun because these are great games. I didn't get to play not Resident Evil, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance this week because my PS3 doesn't take discs and I don't have a cord that plugs directly into my PC, unfortunately, even though I bought the game. I will play it again on Steam because I really do like
But you did play it at least, right?
I have almost platinumed that game. The only thing I didn't get to do was I didn't beat all the VR missions.
Okay. So when they mean VR missions, they don't actually mean VR missions, right?
No, it's a thing from Metal Gear Solid, the 1998 game. They had these bonus missions, basically, like, oh, hey, get to the objective without being seen, you know, without triggering any alarms, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, it was in this, like, VR world. Like, the context is Snake himself is in VR. He's in virtual reality doing these missions. That carried over into subsequent games and all the way to Rising.
I thought they were actually virtual reality, like Vive, Oculus Rift type VR sections. And it was only up until like towards like the end-ish where I mean, there's obviously this is going to be a spoilers bit of the game, so I'm sorry about this or whatever, but it's when you're in like the brains area, and then they say, "Oh yeah, they're running the VR, they're running VR tasks right now or something."
Right.
And I was like,
you gotta imagine this game came out before Oculus Rift, before.
Well,
you know.
Well, when I first saw like VR missions, I was like, "Oh shit, okay, I guess I'll see about doing that," because like I didn't think that at all, because like it was kind of like right there in the menu screen already, and I was like, oh shit, okay, so it's very interesting. There's VR support in here.
That's really weird and funny.
Yeah, I mean, I totally forgot. Like when this came out.
No, it's funny because Metal Gear is such a it's such a staple of video games. Okay, it's like Mario. It's like something that like most people generally know a lot about.
Yeah,
you know, and so like to have this outsider perspective on it that you're bringing is very interesting to me and sort of bizarre. Like I mean, like I have my friend Timmy, right? My friend Timmy. He I don't think he's ever beaten the Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
But I think he still knew about the, the use of VR in Metal Gear and like, stuff like that. He just by proximity of, being into video games for, most of his life.
No, dude, my video game experience has always been almost closed for like the most parts of my younger years. And usually most of that was basically like Nintendo based products, and it doesn't really expand from there. Once PC came out, it was like Jedi Academy and like Warcraft, Starcraft, and then it came Dota, and then League of Legends, and then my gaming experience actually produced after that. That's pretty bad, actually, thinking about it.
I mean, like there's a lot of
games I missed out on. Like
there's a lot of games. There's a lot of games I missed out on that are big time games too. Mm-hmm. But I think because I'm so entrenched in video game, minutia all the time. I'm always listening to podcasts about video games. I'm reading articles about video games. I love video games. They're my thing, and so because of that, I know more about like Castlevania Symphony of the Night than the average person knows about, some other thing, it's like I've never played Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I know so much about that game. I know about like, at the beginning where you're playing as someone else. I know about like what happens when you beat the game, quote unquote, like, you get a whole nother game to play after that. It's like that, like I know stuff about it, even though I've never played it. And it's like, I take it for granted that there's some common public knowledge out there, right? Like, so I love hearing your point of view about Metal Gear, where you don't know anything about Metal Gear. This is the first Metal Gear you're playing.
Yeah.
Like,
and I kind of want to play the previous ones because I am missing a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, this is canonically the final Metal Gear.
Yeah.
It also doesn't have the main character of the franchise.
Nope.
The two main characters of the franchise, like there's two different Snakes that all of the Metal Gear's games follow a character named Snake except for this one. And there's Snake, who becomes a character called Big Boss. His name is Naked Snake. Mm-hmm. He's from the 60s to like, the 80s. And then from then on, it's Solid Snake, and it's not chronological. The story always goes from like, this one takes place in 2004, this one takes place in 1964, whatever. But those two characters, the two Snakes, they're very similar characters, but there's distinct differences between them. Those are the main characters, and this game follows
neither
Raiden. Yeah. Now, one interesting tidbit about this character, Raiden, is that he was actually the main character of Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh.
He's the character you played as. You played as him in his like first official mission for this one thing, and his code name in that game, you guessed it, is Snake. Oh. And he, but then they changed it to Raiden so he doesn't get confused, and so we don't get confused. Yeah, like so you played as him throughout this game, and this game's also not a stealth game.
Mm-hmm. Well, it could be, I guess.
I think they give you moments, but like it's generally not considered a stealth game. It is a platinum game through and through. It plays a lot like other platinum games. Talk about it. Tell me, what'd you think?
So I thought it was really fun up until one point, but I spent a lot of my time still trying to figure out how to block
parry.
Parry. Well,
that's like the big mechanic of the game.
Yeah, parry, and like I didn't really utilize that too much. Only up until like the 4th chapter.
So in this game, unlike Bayonetta, and a lot of other Platinum games, in order to evade an attack, you just hit usually a trigger button or something like that, and your character rolls, and different stuff happens when they get out of the way. But like in this game, Metal Gear Rising, they don't want you to dodge attacks. They want you, because it's a sword fighting game, they want you to parry it. So what you do to parry is you have to hit attack and forward like towards the enemy at the moment of their strike.
Yeah.
And it's it's like one of those things that like it's not as easy as Bayonetta's dodge.
No.
But it does become natural over time. I think. Yeah.
It did.
And different enemies require different patterns of parrying.
Yeah. And there's obviously some stuff you can't parry.
Yeah, and they're colored like gold, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like the moves highlight. Like that's Platinum's always been really good about like highlighting.
Yeah.
Certain things.
I've noticed that. And it was only up until the last boss I realized. Well, when you told me about like evading, right?
Yeah, hitting square and X at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I'm on an Xbox controller, so it's X and Y, I guess.
It'd be X and circle, or X and A.
X and A. What did I say? X and A.
Y.
Y? Stupid. X and A. I think it's a skill maybe that you're supposed to grab, but maybe it isn't. But for so long, I was not able to do that at all. Only up until I got only up until the last boss I did it. So
I want to know, you get a lot of sub weapons in this game. Like you get his sword, but you also get like when you beat a boss, you get their weapons. Yeah, right.
That's it's pretty much like Bayonetta, right?
Yeah, like Mega Man, Bayonetta. A lot of video games do that. But
I like that. I always like that.
I really like Raiden's sword. Like I think that's my favorite weapon to use in the whole game.
Yeah.
Even more than Mistral's staff, more than Monsoon's daggers. What's his name's? What else do you get? You get the daggers. You get the sword. Do you get the scissor blades? You don't get those, right?
Scissor blades. Yes.
You do get those.
Yep.
Dang, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
They're heavy, huh?
I haven't used them. The only thing I ever use is the staff.
And do you like her staff? Is pretty good. It's got good combos.
I mean, like in any game, I think I would want to like wield the staff if there's ever an option, because like that's like a.
This is like your fantasy. You just like the idea of staff.
I do, and like because I'm this is one of like same thing as usual. Like hobbies that I go into, this is completely off topic too. Mm-hmm. Hobbies I go into, I do for like a week or so, and then I'm done with it. This week, last week, it has been LARPing, and in there, you could choose what kind of weapon you want. And I was like, oh shit, is there a staff in here? And that was like the first thought that went through after I thought about, oh shit, what class should I be?
When you say LARPing and staff, it immediately reminds me of that meme, the Star Wars kid. Do you remember the Star Wars kid?
Yes, I do.
That's what it makes me think of. But with all the effects.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where it goes. That's where it goes to. You're right. Yes. Staff is like a fantasy of mine, I guess.
That's cool.
I don't know why. Right. I just find them appealing, just the same way as I do with bows.
But you're not a Hanzo main.
Definitely not a Hanzo main. No.
But you like bows.
I do like bows. I actually own one.
I have a bow. Oh, I had a bow, like a practice bow.
We'll go find it. We'll go shooting.
I think I got scared once I pulled the tension. Like there's the what do you call it?
I think that's pretty much it. The tension.
Yeah, well, once you pull it back all the way.
Drawstring?
Yeah, the drawstring. Yeah. It like really freaked me out to let go. I was like, oh, I feel like
there's so much power into that.
I felt like I was going to slap my arm or something, or like hit me in the ear. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I don't like definitely probably going to hit your arm, but you're supposed to get like arm guards or whatever, right? So
yeah, either way, like they scare me. Weapons in general scare me. I don't like the idea of having anything dangerous.
See, the only thing I see myself having the bow, which is a stupid thing, but it's because of the whole. You remember how we talked about how like zombies were like the thing? That definitely kicked off. Like me picking up a bow was definitely the reason why I picked it up in the first place. And
wait, we were talking about zombies being a real thing.
How like it's a trend and how it like stayed as a trend for some reason.
Okay, so in a lot of zombie fiction, there's characters with bow and arrows or crossbows and stuff because, unlike a gun where once you shoot a bullet, that bullet is gone. A bow, you can potentially
retrieve it.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, it would probably.
Yeah, it might break.
Realistically, it's not gonna like hold its sharpness on the bow tip, right?
Yeah,
and, like it will break.
But whatever you could get, dude. Whatever you could get, and that's really the only reason why I picked up bow and arrow. And I actually took some classes, or just went to like a shooting range. Kind of, not really. I don't know. It's been a while.
Have you ever hit a target?
Definitely. I definitely have targets. Yeah. Metal Gear Rising. So you play as I was about to say Sam. That's not who you play as. It's just this person.
Raiden. He also goes by Jack the Ripper.
Yes. So I was honestly very confused about this game because I'm not sure who the fuck is the villain in this game because I feel like Raiden is at some points, and then towards the end when you fight Senator Armstrong, he is the villain, I guess. And then when he has his monologue, I kind of like agree with what he's saying sometimes. No, I'm not sure if that's a good thing.
No, it's probably not. He's a megalomaniac. But the idea is Metal Gear games always, without fail, have produced some of the most nuanced and relatable antagonists. Okay, so every Metal Gear game, Metal Gear Solid 1 is like the first like we could skip the MSX games because like, you know, those were like NES graphics and they didn't really have a lot of dialogue. But starting from Metal Gear Solid on PlayStation, it's been very focused on telling a story, like long cutscenes, you know, a lot of dialogue. And so all the bosses in Metal Gear, starting from Solid, have been very like relatable and likable or confused or tragic, you know, in a way that like helps you empathize with them. And so like a lot of times when you beat them, when you killed them, they have like, you know, their last monologue, and it's sad, you know. And it's, I always think about like when you beat Vulcan Raven in Metal Gear Solid, and you know, he talks about Alaska and you being an animal of the snow as well as he is, and like, you know, how like your warrior spirits are, you know, similar and stuff, and you like really respect him kind of. And then like when you beat Sniper Wolf, she's like talking about how like her upbringing, you know, affected her and whatever, and like, you know, Otacon's there crying, and it's just like this, like it's always emotional. You always feel for these villains. Metal Gear Rising, differently, the villains aren't as relatable. They're a PMC. You don't really learn much about them. You don't really learn a lot about Mistral or Monsoon. I guess the most you end up liking probably is either Blade Wolf or Jetstream Sam. They're both kind of cool. Jetstream Sam especially because he's got like this samurai's code type of thing, but he's like very like. Well,
I kind of thought it was kind of hot too. So
I like his look. You get to play as him in one of the DLCs.
I saw that. I wasn't sure if that was real or not.
No, yeah, it's fun. If
it was like a costume.
He plays differently from Raiden, but that's cool. Similarly, that's really cool. I think he still has Zandatsu, but but like so like a big thing about Senator Armstrong is I've heard that sentiment that you've expressed where it's like I don't exactly remember what he even talks about.
Well, he talks about just like giving
talking about like
soldiers a belief in what they're fighting for or something,
right? And military's always been a big theme in Metal Gear. Like the whole premise of the whole goal of Big Boss, the main villain of the series, sort of villain is a contentious word, but his goal is to create a nation for soldiers. You know, and like because governments don't treat their soldiers right. That's his like mission, you know, in order to like, because he's a soldier and he thinks soldiers, and like he has big reason why he's personally felt a betrayal, you know, and like so that's like his goal, and so that's like a big theme throughout the games. And I guess Senator Armstrong in a way is carrying Big Boss's will forward.
Yeah.
Like giving soldiers. I just remember him. I just think Senator Armstrong's very funny. I like him because he's a very loud character.
Yeah, he really
like
is.
Over the top. Very like it's funny. He seems kind of
nerdy.
Yeah, right. He doesn't seem like he'd be a big of a threat in the beginning because he wears a suit. He looks kind of like heavy set and wears glasses.
Yeah, and then he becomes the Hulk.
Yeah, he takes his shirt off and you realize, oh, you're not a heavy set. You're ripped. And like,
yeah.
And I love it when he's like beating on Raiden and he says something like, I played ball in school or something.
Yeah, he mentions
like, I played ball in college.
Texas.
Yeah, it's really funny. He's really good though. As a villain, I think he's one of the funniest, best final bosses in video games. I love him.
It was taken. It did the same thing like in Bayonetta for a bit, where it was taken seriously and then it quickly became not serious.
Yeah, the plot of Rising is a very weird one. Okay, so I remember telling you about this last week, where I said the game before this game, Metal Gear Solid 4, wraps up Raiden's story. He gets rid of all his
supposed to, right?
Yeah, he got rid of all his cyborg augmentations, and he's living a happy life with his wife Rose and their son. Okay, that's how his story ended. It's like, oh, good, happy ending for Jack. Metal Gear Rising takes place 4 years later, and all of a sudden he is not living a happy life at home. He's instead a mercenary again, and he's this time he's a bodyguard to a ambassador in Africa. Is it?
Yeah,
was he an ambassador?
That's what it started off as.
Yeah, so you're protecting this guy whose life is being threatened, and things go south pretty quickly. The guy gets killed. The man that you're supposed to be protecting gets killed, and Raiden, for his troubles, loses an eye and an arm and gets tossed off a moving train. Yeah, and it cuts to like, I don't know, several months later maybe. Raiden's back with a new robot body, more badass one.
Yes, and then I was so confused when I was first playing like the beginning because something was off and Raiden did not look like Raiden. And then he transformed and I was like, oh shit, this is Raiden. That's
more similar to what he was wearing in Metal Gear 4.
Okay.
Which is weird because he gets his arms and legs back and whatever. Anyway, but I really love his design. One thing I like about Raiden's design a lot is his jaw is like a skeleton's jaw.
Yeah.
I always think that's cool because he's like a really pretty guy. He's supposed to be like in the Metal Gear Solid 2. He's like, they made him a Bishoujo character because the Kojima always talks about like he like put his game Metal Gear Solid in front of a bunch of women to see what they like didn't find appealing about it, or something. And
she changed it.
Yeah, I think this focus group was like, I don't want to play as this gross man. Like, I don't want to play as Snake. He's like this like grizzled old man. Like, I want someone like prettier or something, and like someone more appealing. And so he changed. So he created the character of Raiden.
Oh my gosh!
But so he started off that way, and now he's like a deformed cyborg man, but like, which is kind of funny in its own way. But so he's like, what's his mission in the game? He's like gonna find out.
His mission was at first to just figure out what's going on with I can't remember. I think it was at first like almost revenge or just figure out who the heck like I forgot his name. The one with the scissor swords.
Yeah, I always remember Monsoon is the one with the mask who can extend his limbs.
He's weirdo.
Mistral is the one with the million arms.
Yes.
Jetstream Sam.
I thought that was.
Is it like Typhoon or something?
Definitely not Typhoon. I feel like it's
the bald one, right? The one who kills.
Starts with a P. Yes, the bald one that kills the.
He's got a cool suit. I like his gimmick too. With the shield.
It's pretty cool. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember his name, but anyway, that guy.
Yeah. It starts with you trying to find out what's going on with him, and I guess along the way you end up finding some dude some, I don't know, some Russian dude that's with Mistral.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay, so there's a man, like a doctor?
Not a doctor. He's just a Russian dude. I know doctor, but
okay. So there's a evil dude that's some guy that you never fight though, right?
no, yeah, he ends up killing himself or something.
Okay, I don't remember
like an
this.
explosion.
Okay.
And then you end up finding out that. Fuck.
Okay, I know you go to
This is so
Mexico
blanking
at
out.
one point, and then
Yes,
you
and
find
I
out
do
that
not-
children, orphans, are being
Yes.
like kidnapped, and their brains
Yep.
are being taken out.
Yep.
The brains are being trained to be cyborg soldiers
Yes.
by the U.S. government,
Yeah.
or like a part of the government.
some government or some like
Yeah, it's Armstrong. Senator
yeah.
Armstrong's doing this, and then
yeah.
basically you end up going to stop him, and then it turns out he has a Metal Gear, and so you beat the Metal Gear. Then you think it's over, but then he's like, you know what? Fine, I'll fight you. And then he's even tougher than the Metal Gear. and then
Yeah.
and then
Why did he even bother doing that?
I love that. By the way, he's stronger than the like mech that he has.
Yeah.
He's great. He's one of I love his cyborg powers are really cool. He has so it's like the big meme with Metal Gear has always been nanomachines. Nanomachines are the magic of this universe, you know.
Yeah.
And you could see it right there with Armstrong. You like cut his arm off, he'll regrow another one with nanomachines, you know.
I don't remember cutting his arm off though.
You don't remember? I feel like you cut his arm off and he like regrows one, doesn't he?
I don't think that happened. It's either that or I might have not looked at that time, because I do kind of like look at other stuff like on the side, like while I'm browsing.
But
I don't remember that. But he definitely activates his nano machines to block damage, which took so long to put him down to like 1%.
yeah, then he beats
What's
you
attacking
from
him?
1%, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, this video game story is incomprehensible. Obviously, if you haven't played any of the other games, it makes even less sense. You
Yep.
get Blade Wolf, who is an enemy that you make your friend. He's this wolf companion robot with a chainsaw
Yeah.
for a tail, and
Yeah.
He's pretty chill. I like him.
He's really chill.
And then he becomes friends with what's Olga's daughter's name?
Son?
Sunny, yeah. So
Sunny?
she's a character from Metal Gear Solid 4. Well, from Metal Gear Solid 2, technically, but
I figured she's the person you said.
yeah,
that
it's
is
fun
in.
because she's a little kid in Metal Gear Solid 4, and she's not even. Ooh, she's just born in Metal Gear Solid 2. So it's like it's kind of cool to see her story still continue. She's like the only other continuing member of the story besides Raiden.
Right.
And she like heads a research thing. Like she has a big company now, which is good.
Yeah.
Good happy ending for her because her mom went through so much shit. And then you don't really know what happens to Snake. I don't think they really talk about Snake ever.
No, they definitely don't say the S word.
They never mention him? Sunny doesn't mention Snake?
No. The only thing she mentions is that like Raiden helped her one time, and that's it. Like anything of the past, that's pretty much what she brings up.
Okay.
Which was like, okay, this is probably the person June's talking about.
And then so you don't know what happened to Snake. You can kind of guess what happened to Otacon. And like, you know, those are the characters from the previous games. That's like about as all the connection this game has to that game.
Well, that's good, because if I want to play those.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people consider this game kind of like not canon. But
Yeah,
I think
I could see that.
I think it is canon. Regardless, it's weird. It is very platinum. And Kojima.
Yes.
So that's cool. It's the big gimmick of this game is Zandatsu, which is where Raiden can slow down time and start swinging, and his swings like real time cut things. And that was that was tech that they invented for this game, Metal Gear Rising. Originally, that's how they demoed it, with him cutting watermelons. It looks great when you chop things up in this game.
Yeah.
Because you could chop it up into like tiny little pieces. You could cut it from different angles. You can like...
And then when you cut it into really, really tiny pieces too, really chugs up your frames.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I started like getting really bad frames once I started cutting like excessively.
That's interesting.
Like the whole bar.
See, because last time I played this game was on PS3. And so it was optimized for PS3. So like...
Yeah. Well, I put the graphics on like high or whatever.
So like...
so I think that didn't make it... It didn't help.
I feel like because the game was optimized, it never really slowed down.
Yeah.
Even during Zandatsu and stuff. But
yeah,
it's really fun. Like, especially when you do it to a boss. Like, I remember when you're fighting Mistral for the first time. And you finally beat her. And you get to like do the Zandatsu. You know, and you like...
It takes me for fucking ever to kill something. And I finally get to kill it with the Zandatsu. I get so happy. I get really angry, but I'm happy that it's here. Because now I can slice it up into pieces.
Yeah, because like certain mechs and stuff, like you can't just Zandatsu immediately. You have to like break them to the point where you could do it, and then you can...
Yeah.
Then like their limbs will go all staticky, and you'll know that like you can cut it off if you want. And and like those like gorilla robots do that too, I think.
God, yeah. Have you ever tried like precisely cutting of the left hands of some
I got all the left hands. You're supposed to get all the left hands of certain targets.
Oh,
it's a collectible.
So there's only certain. You can't do it for all of them or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's like it glows, like you see it in the vision or whatever.
Yeah.
And so you collect all of them, and it's like a trophy or something.
Oh, okay. So you don't really get anything out of it.
You might.
I thought you get more.
You might get like a weapon or something.
Okay.
Because I know there's like special bonus weapons. One of the bonus weapons you get in the game is a wooden sword that you can't really cut into things with.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so you just like
interesting
whacking.
It's very interesting. They just add that in there.
Yeah, and then like another weapon you get is like I think
swinging back to that contextual.
Yeah, it's fun.
Things.
I think one of the weapons you get later is Jetstream Sam's sword, and that's really nice. And then and like stuff like that. You get different costumes. You can get the old PS1 graphics ninja, cyborg ninja costume. I think. But it's I really like this that mechanic, and the big thing about it is it drains a meter whenever you're in that mode, and whenever you cut a dude precisely in his spine, you can reach in and pull out the like a refuel of your health and meter, basically.
Yeah,
it's a very odd system, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's definitely fun.
And makes
it's I feel like that's when Fruit Ninja kind of came out at the same time too, or no?
I think this game came out before Fruit Ninja for sure.
Okay, all right.
But yeah,
I think it is really fun to like try to cut precisely to get that little spine boost thing.
Yeah, it's really weird, right? He's just like juicing up. Like let me grab that spine now.
Yeah, and then I could do it to someone else now.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you'll like line it up precisely so you can get like 3 dudes at once, and then so you slice all 3, and then you hit B, and it's just like right and going from one to another, like grabbing the spine.
I haven't had a chance for that happening, but I had a time where they were like around me, and I had to turn my camera and slice them up.
I really like.
Sometimes it's you need more time than that.
Well, one thing that's cool that's kind of like Vanquish is you can activate the Zandatsu while you're like sliding around and stuff. So
I was able to do that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, you're like sliding on the ground, and like so the camera it's still moving. You're moving forward, and like you can go slice, like and like get them from below and stuff. The game gets really fun with all sorts of stuff like that. Yeah, it's a
good game. It's a good game.
It's a really good game. What do you think about it in comparison to other Platinum games?
Definitely different, and I think I played it. I don't think I played it the way it is supposed to be played, especially in the first couple of chapters. I played it kind of trying to figure out how to play it like Bayonetta, and I think that was the wrong way to go. And I understood that towards the end of the game, unfortunately. So
it's also got big set piece moments like Bayonetta, though, where like I think in the tutorial mission you fight a Metal Gear, don't you? And you're like running down its back, slicing it up as you go, and like stuff like that. It's like,
I do want to say the music in there really makes me intense.
like it's very like screamo, like
screamo dubstep, rock dubstep, or something like that, or whatever. And it is actually really
like
exciting.
Pumps you up.
I get pumped whenever I hear
it's funny, because I always thought about it this way, which is because I don't normally like that type of music, and it's great that in this game makes me appreciate that vibe, even though I normally wouldn't like it. Like it fits the game so perfectly that like I do like it in the game,
Yeah, it works. And I also I don't listen to that kind of music anymore, or I never really cared for it really at all. But yeah, it worked a lot, and it fit very well.
Yeah, no, it's a great game. I'm really interested in seeing your take on other Metal Gears after this, because holy shit, could they not be more different?
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, like, one day would you be down to play all the Metal Gears?
I'm looking at it, and I'm kind of down. I just need to figure out how to play
the only way you could play Metal Gear 2 and 3 though would be if you had a PS2 or 3. The only way you could play Metal Gear Solid 4 is if you had a PS4.
Okay, well,
maybe
that's covered.
PlayStation Now streaming.
Ugh. They probably are, but I mean, we can give it a try. We'll give it a try. Yeah, honestly, because I think there's like a trial thing.
The thing about that series is I've bought them all on PlayStation, on like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. Whenever they came out, I bought it, and then also after buying all of them for PlayStation 3 and my disc drive not working, I remember one day they released trophy support for Metal Gear Solid 4. It never had trophies before this, right? And they released trophy support for it. And I was like, I need to play that game. And then my PlayStation 4's disc drive didn't work. Aww. So I downloaded them all on PSN. Oh my gosh. Because I wanted to play those games that badly. So I'll always have Metal Gear.
Nice.
But good game.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up. It is a good game. I love it. I did enjoy. I enjoyed my time playing it. I loved it.
What's next week? Legend of Korra?
Oh God, no. Bayonetta 2. Shit. Is it really? Is it that time already?
I think we're there, man.
Wow, we spent 2 weeks already.
It's a return to Bayonetta. How do you feel?
Shit.
Are you excited?
Well,
Are you scared?
I'm excited to play it for sure. Yes, but I'm not as excited for the next week after that.
Why?
Because that's near, and I'm not anywhere near finishing that game.
But after playing all of these other games, do you feel like you have an easier grasp with a game like Nier?
I think so. Yeah, but it's just I think after playing this game, Revengeance, I think I gotta remember that Nier is its own game, so I have to like remember how Nier plays.
Nier definitely plays closer to something like Bayonetta.
Yeah,
it's like,
but there's still like some differences in it, isn't it?
Sure.
Isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, you can make it play like Bayonetta. You can get chips that give you bullet time, or not bullet time, witch time. Yeah, they call it overdrive.
Yes.
Like other Platinum games, though, it's like unlike other open world. When you think of an open world RPG, you generally think of like The Witcher, Skyrim, maybe Final Fantasy 15.
I mean, some people think Minecraft, but whatever.
I said RPGs.
That is a joke. Almost. It definitely is a joke.
Definitely, though, nothing has ever played like Nier Automata. So, Nier Automata is especially combat focused, combat first video game, like all Platinum games are, just set in a giant open world. Also, so I don't know. I love that.
I definitely can't wait for Bayonetta 2, though.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I need to figure out how that's going to be done and get on it.
It's only available on Wii U, unfortunately, for everyone. Much to dismay of everyone when they announced that it would be platform specific. It was a big controversy at the time. Yeah, right? Wasn't it on Xbox for a while or something? Or Bayonetta 2? 1. Bayonetta 1 was on Xbox, PlayStation 3, even released on Steam. But
oh shit! Okay.
Bayonetta 2 has never released anywhere besides the Wii U.
Yeah.
And I don't think it will.
Shit.
I don't think there's ever going to be a Switch version.
A Steam. Well, I mean, that's interesting. That would be very interesting to have a Switch version.
I don't think they would. I don't know if it's sold that well. I don't know if it sold well enough. I think it sold well enough, but like, I don't know if it sold well enough to justify like a remake or a re-release.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever. I have my ways to get to Bayonetta 2.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. I think that ends Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah.
Revengeance.
Wow.
Revengeance.
I just always think about Senator Armstrong. I think he's so funny to me.
He's too buff, man.
I played ball in college. I love him. He's one of those villains that you don't see because he's like a third act villain. He's not like the main driving antagonist for most of the game.
Nope.
If there's one part of the game I really disliked, it's when you're in Colorado.
Yeah.
Right before you fight Monsoon, I think you have to like Raiden goes all crazy. He's like, "I'm Jack the Ripper now," and like he can't run or use Zandatsu or anything. He has to just walk slowly. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You have to get to the boss area, and it's like there's guards everywhere. Very annoying. Very annoying section.
I got there all right. Like, did you get caught or whatever?
I think I was trying to get like S ranks.
Oh,
another grading system, Platinum. Like stick to one. Like come on. Like you got pure Platinum to Stone and Bayonetta. You got S to E, I think, in Metal Gear Rising. You got what'd you have
just
in
a
Vanquish?
Point system.
Numbers. You
just had a point system. Yeah.
Like I mean they never stick to a grading system. I think in Legend of Korra you get something else too.
Yeah, probably like avatar faces, emojis.
I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was letters. It might be letters.
Yeah. But grading system, keep it at all. So
yeah, I do like that Nier doesn't have one.
That is unfortunate.
Actually, I kind of like it doesn't have one in Nier.
I don't, maybe because I'm kind of used to it at this point, but I don't know.
I think it's because
I do want to know what if I'm doing bad or not.
Well, I mean, like it's because it's an open world game that like you kind of get into encounters on your own,
Yeah, so they can't really account for those.
Yeah, I mean, but how they do it is there's like in the DLC they release these like combat arenas where like it's one hit kill. Like you will die in one hit. So there's your grading system. It's pass or fail.
I guess, yeah. Thank you for listening to the Binch Bros podcast. Hope you enjoyed your time with me and June. Goodbye, everybody.
Adios.